hope he doesn't want this.
Now Popper's like getting ready to do butt stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool too. But like,
That's an
my
option
language.
for sure. Tom.
Yes.
No.
I have entered the chat.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve. And Tom is bringing direct, focus to there being a missing spot. Today's episode is, I'm going to just keep saying this because I say it in every episode. It's a very special episode.
It is, though.
It's a very special episode because we have a guest in. And if you were paying attention to the title, we have Becca Scott in again.
She's so cool.
In person.
In person in the studio. Very excited, but we will get to that in just a moment. Before we do, let's introduce the host. I'm Josh.
I'm Tom.
I'm Caitlin.
And this episode is brought to you in part by the members of the Nerd On Nation that is powered by
Patreon.
As a member of the Nerd On Nation, you do get fun perks. Like, you get bonus episodes that nobody else hears. Like the Nerd On Minute, where we break down so many different things that we've broken down over the past couple of years.
Overrated, underrated.
In 60 seconds. You also get early access to these episodes. You get access to a super secret channel and our super public Discord server. Lots of fun stuff over there, so do check it out. At the same time, you are supporting us in growing and being the best that we can be, upgrading our content, all that good stuff. So we really appreciate it. Love the Nerd On Nation, so do check it out. nerdon.tv/Patreon. And check out that Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. A little bit more housekeeping. This episode is sponsored by Podbean. I lost the script for a second.
He has to say words specific.
I have to specific. Podbean is the easiest way to create your own podcast. We use Podbean.
Podbean.
Do you remember Pogs back in the 90s? No, Podbean.
Whole different thing now.
We use Podbean to host this show, Nerd On the Podcast, our other weekly show, the Nerd On Update, and our sister show, the Capeless Crusaders. Download the free Podbean podcast app to start, record, and publish your very own podcast in minutes. It's really quite easy. Podbean provides everything you need to run your podcast, and you can record and publish episodes directly from the app on your phone. Download the free Podbean app today. That's Podbean. Check it out. And the next business,
Let me
I'm gonna hand it on over
y'all
to
something,
Tom.
y'all. I'm so
Tom's about to
excited.
pop off.
Look, we've been indoors for a long time, fellas.
Oh, boy.
You know, just because we nerdy doesn't mean we can't be clean, get that hygiene up, get that confidence up, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of personal hygiene does something for you. And
I
that
get
doesn't
it.
have to be for everybody. As much as you want to share it consensually. You know what I'm saying? So today, I want to share with you guys the fact that support for Nerd On the Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their fourth, not the first, not the second, not the third, but the fourth generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right. The 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer by you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code NERDON at manscaped.com.
He's getting better at this.
He is getting better. He's done it twice already.
It's not, hello, and thank you for watching our show. This show is supported by Manscaped.
Hi, everybody. Have a good time.
Oh, my God.
And
Anyway.
last piece of housekeeping. If you like what you hear today, please share us with your friends and family and stop by, rate, and review. That is literally, like we have said many times before, how we grow. People make decisions on whether they will listen to us or not based on those reviews.
It's true.
So check it out. And that is how we grow guerrilla marketing, sharing it with your friends, your family, all of that
And
stuff.
if you give us a review, I'll give you a shouty outy on the show.
I have an
Ding,
innie.
ding. Nope.
And we want to gorilla grow like the gorilla, but also like a giant gorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, on that note, let's do this.
Let's put Becca in her seat right now.
Yeah,
And
transition.
3, 2, 1.
We out here, guys.
Oh, God.
What's happening?
Wow.
That was for Corey because he couldn't
Yeah.
be here. I
To
had
do
to
that
say, we out
himself.
here.
Oh.
We out here?
Yeah, we out here.
Because I used to do that on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
Because I used to go to do the round circle thing and be a little woo girl and be like, we out here doing some things. And then I stopped because I grew up.
You're a
little
woo
bit.
girl?
Did you
I-
grow
I
up?
was very
He's a woo girl.
I'm still
Never
a-
lose your
day.
inner woo girl.
I say grow up but never grow old.
Ugh.
But I do lose my woo girl because woo girl's like, I'm sad. But
Yeah.
That was the whole thing about the woo girl.
I don't know what a woo girl is.
Me
From
either.
How I Met Your Mother. It was about all these people watching woo girls at the bar, and they're like, woo! And they had a subtitle being like, I hate my life.
Oh.
And
A
it's like,
woo girl.
Woo girl.
Like, woo!
I get it
I
now.
was very woo girl for a time in my life.
Yeah.
I might still do that this summer. you know,
Wow.
who knows?
So,
Anyway, welcome to the episode, everyone.
This
Thank you,
is-
Becca, for coming in.
Hello.
I looked it up. It has been just about a year on the dot
Man.
since you were back
Wow.
with
Your hair was red.
Yeah.
just
Oh,
about to
wow,
be pink,
yeah.
I think.
Oh my god. It has been pink in the past pandemic year. Yes. Should we do this next year?
Please.
I think so.
We're gonna
I think
make it
a
it'll have
yearly
to be
thing?
a yearly tradition.
Sure, yeah.
You're going
I'm
to
down.
compete with Jeff Nimoy as the most frequent
Frequent on the
guest
show.
on
And
the
then
show.
there's Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah.
That's
so now
true.
you're
You're-
tied with
you're-
Jonathan Frakes.
Okay,
You're a
well,
white whale right there.
my podcast is about next gen, so I mean, tell Jonathan what's up.
Okay.
We like Riker is horny on Maine is probably the phrase said the most on our
I just
podcast.
coughed my coffee a
He,
lot.
the last time he was in, he talked about My Neighbor Totoro. We just just talked about
was
My Neighbor
very
Talked
Totoro.
about him being a
heartwarming.
father.
Yeah, it was
It's
a fun
great
time.
film.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. But thanks for coming back. How's it been like the last year?
Wow, you know what year it was? Do you know?
I know.
Actually, great for me. I
I think you said that last time. You were like,
It's been really nice,
it's actually been great.
I'm an indoor person. There's a new Magic set that came out a couple days ago, and it's especially special to see people now that we're mostly vaccinated here in Los Angeles.
Mm.
And I don't know. Do you want me to tell you everything?
How much
Where do
time
I
do we
start?
have?
Becca, tell us everything. Also, I don't think we actually said, but this is Becca Scott back with us.
Hello.
Becca's here.
Did
Did you
for
say?
coming in. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We
Okay.
got a
Great.
whole intro. I have
All
a
right.
question, real quick. What's the brand? Is it Moderna, Pfizer?
Oh my god.
I gotta
He's
ask.
really making this like the Pokemon.
It's like houses. It's like houses.
I was Moderna.
Moderna Mafia.
Yeah, and
Oh my
I got it
God.
2 weeks early because I heard in let's see, was it Riverside County? They
Oh,
were just
yeah.
throwing them away at the Rite Aid,
yeah.
and you just make an appointment. Nobody cares. They don't need anything. Just go on in. Just
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it.
Did you feel a little like, oh, I'm taking someone else's? Because Josh sent me some links of like, hey, go over here because they're just going. If you do, there's no appointment, and I'm like, it's not my time yet. It's not my turn. I felt a little moral, but then I realized I just didn't care.
I waited so I didn't feel like I was cutting the line because people were getting vaccinated starting in January, and I got mine May 1st, and May 15th was when anyone could get it in LA. So I was like, whatever,
It's
2
not-
weeks.
I think we cut around the same time actually. Then.
yeah.
Oh.
Way to go us.
Yeah. And it's Moderna.
There were
He's
a
really
lot of
making it a team thing.
there were a lot of
I'm trying to get people excited.
podcasts of like scientists and stuff being like, yeah, after the first couple of months, don't feel bad about getting your shot because the people who desperately needed it were like clamoring in those first several months to go get it. So at this point, if they haven't been clamoring to get it, then
They believe the earth is flat. and it's
probably
fine.
so, and they're not going to go and get it anyway.
That tracks.
So then there reached a point where people were scientists and people of that community were saying like, just go get vaccinated, please. Like,
Yeah.
if you can, just do it. Just please do it.
It's like when you have a dinner party and then you're like, dinner's ready, and everyone's like having their conversation. You're like, someone just grab a plate. Just be the first one. Grab the
Be
plate.
the one. Just please do it.
yeah.
I didn't make this vaccine for nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Any hard side effects?
Oh, yeah. So the second shot,
Yes.
Oh boy.
I was filming some Magic the Gathering commercials,
Ooh.
and I had 1 day of recovery.
Oh,
And I was like, but I got to get my shot. But they booked me, but I got to get my shot. So, I'm going to like try and go a little early. I'll have that whole evening to drink a bunch of Gatorade and then 1 whole day to just like play board games in my pajamas like every day. And then go on set the next day. And I was like, if it's a 2-day thing, I'm done. This is going to suck because I have to go because I got to be in some ads for Modern Horizons 2. Yeah.
Congrats.
And thank you. And then I also did a different series of ads for Magic the Gathering for the D&D and Magic crossover set, which
That's
was
pretty dope.
Yeah, it was released on Arena last week. And so,
Congrats
literally
again.
Thank you. I
and you
have been playing it for 3 days straight.
I was gonna say, didn't you recently just win a draft streak? And
Stop.
I saw that. I was like,
She's like, yes, I did.
Becca's having a little magic moment.
Well, I tweeted it. I mean, anyone who plays enough draft will definitely win 7 at one point, and then you get the little prize because it's like 3 losses, you're out, 7 wins. Cheers! Yeah,
Winner.
And it's all digital, so like you could just keep opting back in. But I've just never gotten 7 wins before, and it was a special moment for me. That happened yesterday.
Did you mark the calendar?
Yeah, I did actually, and I also to my
Stop
husband
being so
David.
condescending. Yes, I did.
Of course I did. Of course I did. Today was the day. I told my husband, I was like, okay, so this isn't going to mean a lot to you, but I need you to really like bear with me and
Dig
just
deep.
not maybe look excited. You know how I play Magic, right? And
Yes.
It was too early. He couldn't give me what I needed in that
You're like,
moment.
next to our wedding, this is the most important day.
Though,
Yeah.
now I have to ask an honest question. Do you play it on mobile, on iPad?
I downloaded it on my phone today
Ooh.
because that's how much I need to play this set. But I'm like, I can't play anything that feels at all for stakes or like if my ranking's good, I don't want to play my phone because it's so easy to misclick.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
real.
trouble.
Once it went to iPad, that was dangerous because the PC, our streaming PC, is in here. And in order to play, I'd have to come out of the house. First world problems. If I wanted to play it. But now that it's
go
on,
out of your house into another place that
I
you also
know.
live? Okay.
I know.
Must be nice.
Wow,
know.
rough.
Well, you can't pretend that you're hanging out with your family.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, you just
now
have
I
to be
can just do
present.
it and be like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, that's
Your wife's just like, oh my God, look at the show. Like,
Bonnie is a nerd, but she doesn't like the in-depth stuff that I get into.
That
It's like,
TCG life.
I just want you to know that this is cool.
Yeah.
This is like post when it happened validation. Just so
Yeah.
you know, that was so fucking cool.
Oh, my thing. I thought you were saying that's what you say to Bonnie. You were actually
No,
saying
it's
that
cool.
to me in
I
the
get it.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I think streaming gives me more validation than I deserve.
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, but I'm just going to sit here and play for hours, but I'm working.
Yes.
So over the past year, you started your Kickstarter series, right? Was it this past year, or have you been?
Yeah, I've been throwing all kinds of content spaghetti at the wall just because if you film it on Zoom, why not? And we have a little show where we talk about upcoming board game Kickstarters or sometimes video games that look sweet just to kind of signal boost them. And because that's where every game goes now anyway. And
Pretty
let's
much.
see. I'm still running Call of Cthulhu, which is probably one of my favorite things I'm doing. And we're doing more in-person playthroughs of games and putting those on the old YouTubes.
When was it like pretty much once it was like, all right, I'm clear, we're getting together? Because that's the way we were. We were like,
Everyone's vaxxed.
you're vaxxed,
to the
you're vaxxed.
max.
Let's do it.
We're
back in
go.
studio.
Yeah. Well, we did a couple game playthroughs, like just getting tested, but with me and my husband and my business partner and his wife. So there's some of those videos up. But yeah, as soon as everybody was vaxxed, we were shooting some stuff. But it's not we can't shoot one every week because we build a set in my living room and we hire
that's
people and we
right.
like rent cameras and put up lights, and it's not like a standing set thing.
So, like with the auction that just happened,
You did your homework.
I tried.
He always does.
Was
Tom
that in
always
your living
does.
room?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Right? Okay, so
Wow.
one of my best friends, Katie Michaels, she's amazing. She's an actress. She's on the Dungeon Run, which is a really great. It was on Caffeine, and now it's theirs on Twitch. D&D show. I have to promote that because I don't want. She will not ever leave. She's not a production designer. She just is really, really good at it. So the auction is this Call of Cthulhu one shot. That it was like a sponsored video we did because Call of Cthulhu is doing a Kickstarter for their classic stuff. They're like re-releasing their second edition, but they want to show you can play it with the new rules and it's very fun. And I was like, heck yes, I will get my friends here in person and we will do a one shot and I will try and kill them all. And maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You gotta watch. I have, let me just name drop in case people know Erica Ishii, B. Dave Walters, Xander Jean-Ray, and Josephine McAdam.
Oh my gosh.
They're amazing humans and so good at role playing games. And I was like, Erica Ishii. Yeah, you have to whisper it every time. It just echoes.
I'll put some verb on that.
Yeah, it happens now. You don't even have to put that on there.
Yeah, you don't. It just kind of naturally
So
occurs when
weird.
you say her name.
It just happens. And yeah, so the set was incredible because it is like expandable like stands and poster board and contact paper that looks like wallpaper. And then some like cheapo IKEA curtains. And that is our like
Josh, why don't we have that?
yeah.
You have one job, dude.
Yep.
You're running the board, doing all these things. You don't.
I'm president of our company. I've just got one job.
You only got one job, man.
All you've got is super cool,
Yeah,
like
no.
collectibles.
And then I have a JOB. You know, it's cool.
But yeah, that was super sweet. And that all comes up in my living room and comes down in the same day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tussle.
Because I watched the stream and it's quite beautiful.
You did?
Oh yeah, we all lurk.
We don't.
You did.
We
tweet it.
don't like to just have a guest on and just like wing it. We're like, well, we gotta like find out about this person.
Yeah.
Did you're like a friend, and we're like, we need to.
Did you think
You wanna
that
be
some of the
friends?
thousands of
Yeah.
people were watching it was going to be us?
I don't know who watches. So I
is-
just put things on the internet and I'm like, why?
Well, it is one of those things where you don't want to assume that it's like, of course everyone knows everything I've ever done. Like,
What?
If I
What?
if I did a Marvel movie, I would expect you to see it.
Yes,
Anything
that
else
one.
I've ever done, I don't expect anyone to know what I'm talking about.
same.
I don't know if you've experienced this, but I experienced this when we started making content and pumping stuff out there. About a year in, I got a Facebook message from a guy I went to high school with. He wasn't even in my class. And he was like, I'm a fan and all this kind of stuff. And he became one of our patrons and everything. I was like, people come out of the woodwork when you start putting things on the internet.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, right?
Also, now I'm curious, have you had that happen for your content and like a weirdest, like you were just kind of shocked that someone was so into your
watch
stuff?
me?
No, just a buddy from college that like I hadn't thought about in a couple years. He was like, Becca, I bought the Fallout game. Is this you? And he just like had my number. So he started sending me videos of him watching me. But they were very funny videos. And it like made my day every time he did this.
See, that's the best kind though, I feel. Not just like, I love your content, Becca.
I don't know.
Hey, I mean, I put it there for people to enjoy, so that's great.
Yeah, great, good.
Yeah, even when you do that creepy voice, I don't think it's creepy because I'm glad you watched it and enjoyed
Aw, made
It's
it
only
wholesome.
Yeah.
It's only
Good.
creepy if you make it creepy.
That's true.
This isn't
That's very
creepy.
true.
It's
Maybe
just my
that's just
voice.
her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Wow.
No, you didn't do it. It was Caitlin. She goes, I watched your content.
Oh my God, Becca.
Do we have actors here just doing voices?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, pretty
Uh-oh.
much. Pretty much. That's what we do.
No,
here.
that's why people watch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you were lurking, you may have gotten a taste of my accent work, so you got to pay extra for that.
If you didn't catch
That is
that, the
the high tier
dialect
stuff.
was, you don't say accent, it's dialect.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Well,
She was just using the layman's terms
No.
so people don't get confused, you know?
I
get
think they're different things. If
Are
you're
they?
speaking like a dialect is as an English speaker, I would be doing a dialect if I were doing like Irish or Scottish or South African, but I would be doing an accent if I were doing French or German because it's a different language that is causing the different pronunciation.
Makes sense. I took a dialect class in college and they call it dialect, and I was like, I don't know.
Sounds more in the know.
But it was all
But
it was all American
But are you a
dialect, so maybe.
linguistic
No,
now?
Tom, I'm
A
not.
linguistic?
I knew
Are
someone who was
you
in
A
linguistics.
linguisticist.
Yes, that thing.
That's
Look,
a
I
good
just
one.
do the camera thing. I don't do the talky talk. I you know.
Oh, you.
That's so not true.
Okay, Tom. 4 years we've been podcasting. You don't do the talk.
Well, I try.
Sir?
I don't try to
Sir.
talk over people. No. All these lies on the back of the episode.
Do you not though?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
So what's coming up? What are kind of some things that you've got in the woodworks?
Oh goodness. Okay, the big one, I've already mentioned this D&D Magic crossover thing that was very exciting. D&D Live is the 16th and 17th. I don't know when this comes out, but of July. And there is a 2-day extravaganza of all these celebrities playing D&D with like the best DMs that I know, which are the best DMs in the world, I assume. And they are running games for these people. Like there's a WWE table that Abria Iyengar's running. And then like B. Dave Walters is running games. And there's Seth Green on that. And like all these, and now I'm forgetting names of all the wonderful people. But like Patton Oswalt's at a table.
Joe Manganiello.
Wow.
Um,
I was trying to see when the schedule was.
Danny Trejo. I saw that.
That was a great ad. I wish I could tell you more magic-related things that I'm going to be on soon, but if you enjoy magic and you enjoy a format called Commander, you may see me somewhere soon.
Oh my God. I'm so excited for you right now.
Do you play Commander?
No, but I'm just happy for, like, the way that you paused was like, I could destroy an NDA right now, but I can't. So I won't.
I mean,
And I'm
technically this
very
comes
excited.
out after
So
that
you're
date.
safe.
So-
I don't even know when this will come out, but it will be exciting when it does. And I think that people can guess based on solely the format of Magic.
Everyone
I
listening.
wish
that's not
Corey
my
was
fault.
here because I'm a dabbler in MTG. Compared to Corey, I'm a dabbler. Like I'm like, yeah, I did the thing right. I read the card right. I know the mechanic. He like knows. I don't even know what Commander is.
Oh, I would love to tell you.
Do it,
Please.
please.
Okay, so
nerd on.
Magic the Gathering is a card game. The most common format, perhaps if you're dabbling in Arena, the digital version, you'll probably play one player versus one other player, 1v1. Yes. Sparky, yes, the bot. And you both start with 20 life. Whoever gets the opponent to 0 life first wins, or make them run out of cards or whatever. Commander is the most popular casual in-person format because you can have more than 2 people playing. Usually there's a table of like 3 to 5, and you may only have one of each type of card, or sorry, one of each card in your deck.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's a singleton format, and you have one card that is your commander, that's a legendary creature, and that legendary creature can always be cast from what's called the command zone, but just, kind of sitting off to the side, not in your deck. And so you always know you have access to this awesome, awesome thing. If it dies, you can cast it again. You just have to pay 2 more mana. So it's this format that's all about like showing how cool your deck is and this thing that it does, and like playing with friends.
It's a flex game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for flexing. It's just for flexing.
Which makes it amazing.
So
Yeah.
does Wizard of the Coast have to pay you now for that, or?
Gosh, so I feel like I just walk around advertising them all the time, but they have paid me for things, so therefore I continue to just give them free advertisement in the hopes that like it all works
I can't imagine
out.
how cool that is to be pushing something that you love yourself.
You're like,
yes.
My life is so cool, Josh. No, honestly, it started because they approached me and they said, "Can you please learn to play Magic? We would like to use you in our tournaments."
Whoa.
Actually, they didn't even tell me what they wanted to use me in. They just said, "Learn Magic. Here's cards." And so I think maybe I told you this
And that's
story
what
last
you
year.
did? No, you
1
didn't.
year ago. Okay.
You didn't give us the details, but
So
really?
Yeah, they said that, and I did a lot of hosting at Geek and Sundry, and we had done like some series that was learn how to play Magic that was very basic, and that's how they knew my name. But they sent me cards, they said learn, and then a year later, I was like, oh, okay, well, I had my friend who knows Magic come over, dabbler indeed. I was like, I get the basic rules. I get you read a card, you do what the card says. They booked me for PAX East in Boston.
Oh my.
And it was a tournament of the highest tier.
Oh my.
And like, I couldn't even have told you, you know, not just what cards were currently in standard, but what standard was.
I've made a huge mistake.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. I didn't sleep the night before because I was just watching streams of some of these. It was an invitational, so there was a lot of Twitch streamers that were there, and I was like, cool, okay, this Crim guy, I'm just going to stay up all night and watch his past streams so I know what these cards do because it moves so fast that it's not like I was doing play-by-play, which is the thing, and the people who do that are incredible, and now I get to call them friends, and I so admire that. All I had to do was go on stage and ask like 3 questions after someone won, but they had to be very specific.
Yeah. Oh my God, the
It can't
pressure.
be just like, that color was green and you did the thing.
Oh my
How do you feel?
Exactly. And then the most embarrassing thing that I was just so nervous, I didn't even know what words were vomiting out of my mouth, but as someone that spends all their time playing Magic now, I'm like, oh, I would have scoured me in chat if I heard this. But I asked someone about their red mono deck, and it's mono red. And they were like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
you
you're
caught
cute.
the old red mono there. But the great part was I got so much shit from all the coverage team that it made it very funny to laugh at. And hey, they signed a contract with me, so I had several more gigs to do with them. So I got better.
Oh yeah. When was that initial gig?
I think it was like October 2018.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
you're fully immersed at this point.
Yeah.
You're like in hard.
Yeah. That was when I was like, as soon as you understand high level Magic, you're like, so if I just copy and paste their deck, I can play with that? Like net decking is a thing. You play with the best deck.
I've done it. Like last year when I got into MTG, Corey was teaching me some things, but he would send me videos and he's just like, okay, watch this. They have like a deck builder in the description and just build a deck if you have it and we'll try. And it's pretty good. It's like, and you watch the streams and you're like, I get that reference. And like, you just going through and now I'm like, it's fun to play and win. Like you're like, I'm almost at the point where because I took a break from Magic for the past like 6 months, and that can be
Becca's like, I'm never.
that can be a difference.
No, yeah. Well, I go on and off, and then if there's a new set that comes out, I hop right back in and I do a couple of streams and I do drafting, which is like, well, limited is the format where you just rip open the little booster packs and then you build your deck from that. So draft is when you take one card and pass the pack.
We
and
did
then,
that at Corey's place.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
We did it with the physical, and it took a long time.
That
Oh,
was
heck
like
yeah.
2 weeks. It was
We
very
did-
close to the quarantine.
Didn't we do Commander for that?
I know
All 4 of
we
us played.
streamed, and then he was teaching you guys how to play.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
only played a little bit because I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. But then I just cry when I think about Magic
Oh,
because
well.
he just Isochron Scepters my booty, and I'm just like, I can't do anything. And he's like, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm like,
Oh.
So
Corey plays a lot of blue, right?
yeah,
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just
so
like,
he's
if
a
you
evil
wanted to do
person.
that,
he's a control boy.
I play him on MTG, and I
Regret your life.
regret my life.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty cool. Like last summer, I built like this really sick vampire deck because vampires were in, and I'm like, I want a vampire deck, and I built it, and I was cleaning all of anybody I played, all these randos. I was like, hell yeah! I played him. And he's like, you're sweet, you're
Oh,
cute.
That's cute.
That's
well,
cute.
did he know what deck you were playing with? Because I feel like that's a little bit of an advantage.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this other deck that I built, but it was the same. It was this time. It was a white black vampire deck. So it was two colors, and he was like, "You're still sweet, but I'll play with my lesser deck." And he still
Becca-
wiped the.
What do you normally play with?
Oh my gosh. Well, right now I've just been playing a bunch of Sealed, which is you open 6 booster packs and you make the best deck you possibly can out of those 6. And if you play one and you terribly fail, you're like, okay, but what if I just use the completely different cards that were not even colors I was playing before? So you can kind of just adjust in between games.
Oh.
And I've realized this is my format because draft you have to pick quickly and you have to be thinking and you have to be like, keeping all of the other picks that you've already made in mind versus seeing everything that works together all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been crushing. I went 6-3 like a couple hours ago.
Oh wow,
it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Look at you.
My advice when you play your friend, you play either Pauper or Artisan. So Artisan means you can only use cards that are uncommon and common rarity. So this way you don't have to spend a bunch of money on the cards, and the power level is
Artisan?
like held. Pauper means only commons
Poor
and
people.
no uncommon. Yeah,
Pauper.
like poor
Okay,
people, like
Pauper.
poor
Yeah.
people.
And the artisan, you know.
I hope he doesn't watch this episode.
Yeah, no, not
As
like-
one of our hosts, I hope he doesn't watch this.
Now Pauper's like getting ready to do
Yeah,
butt
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's cool too, but like.
That's
Speaking
an
my
option
language.
for sure. Tom.
Yes.
No.
I have entered the chat. I do have to ask because I work at a place where there's a bunch of other nerds and they play a bunch of Magic and I don't play Magic. But we were doing last time we did the show, Becca. We did a little bit of like our star signs, and we were like doing some
Astrology?
that
as
stuff.
it- of like
But it's
your-
magic, and I don't know if you know of this, right?
There's astrology in Magic?
Well,
of
someone-
like what
color you are.
color or color combo a
Oh.
person would be.
Yeah.
So like I was a
Oh.
green white, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
you're like a knight of autumn. You're like a
Yeah.
paladin
Yes.
that's covered in leaves.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I-
And then
that tracks.
Tom
And
was like
Corey told me I was a red, white, black.
red, white,
I
black.
think that's Mardu is what you call the.
It was like
I'm working on my name. The 3 color names are the hardest for me to remember.
it was like Law and Order, but also like a lot of personal development stuff. And I was like, okay.
And then
Black, white, red is that's just evil. That's just like killing stuff and also lighting it on fire, but also like smiting it with holy light.
yeah, that
Well.
sounds like Tom.
Yeah, that
Well,
tracks.
I care
And
about
then-
people I care about.
Josh, what was Josh?
I don't know.
I think you were like a blue. No, you were like a white boy.
It was just pure white. Pure white boy. What
I
would
think you could be let's see, there's
My
only
nickname
5
is Sweet Baby
colors.
Josh, so if that
Sweet Baby Josh.
Always
Green
so
White's
sweet.
taken.
it is?
Selesnya. So I feel like I'm gonna make you Simic. That's blue green. Like a
could- yeah.
merman.
You're a merman.
I'll take
Josh.
it.
Becca, what do you think your star sign for magic colors would be? Quote unquote.
Black, blue. Yeah, we'll just go Demir. Black, blue.
Black,
Yeah.
blue. And
Mhm.
and you want to care to break that down for those of us that don't fully understand what that might mean?
No. You tell me. What do you think it means? And
Well,
then
when
I'll
you were saying before that blue was like, oh, he's evil.
It's not
So-
Esper.
That's
That's with white.
It's like you're my puppet and I'm gonna pull the strings.
Blue
like
is very controlling.
yeah, it's anticipation of like leaving my mana up so you don't know what's gonna happen. You try and do a thing and I'm just like, nope, and I slap it out of the
Why
air.
does she
Okay.
still
Yeah.
have 10 mana? I don't know.
That's,
Figure-
it's really rude. It's like I'm trying. It's like no.
Don't play your best creature into open mana. I'm playing an instant on your turn
No, I hate
to
that.
screw with you.
I hate that. It's like, can I play yet? Is it
No.
my turn?
No.
I'm Grixis. That's what apparently Corey said. Grixis.
Yes, Grixis. Yes.
Grixis.
Self knowledge,
Not Mardu's,
self
I'm
perfection, and
stupid.
individuality.
No, you're not.
You're not
oh,
stupid.
You just got introduced to this concept today.
No, I always Grixis and Mardu in particular. Okay, because there's a name for every color pair, and then there's a name for every color
there
triome.
is?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why so everyone at the warehouse they're like, okay, you're like a black, white, blue, and I was like, what? And then I asked Corey, and he said that. So yeah, I was like a little horoscopy thingy, If you
it
feel
kind of is, yeah.
It's the last picture saved in my phone is the names of all of them. So
Oh,
don't worry about it. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what you would post.
I love that with no prior warning, this is what was just readily available on Becca's phone.
the last picture in your phone
At
is your
all
mental
times.
place. That's what it is.
Josh has these tiny fingers covering his mouth, like, oh my.
I just like,
Oh
it's like,
my.
I don't know, remembering like a script, it's like remembering something like that because there's like color combinations and you're like, okay, white, blue, black. Okay, then okay, I got it.
It's like a more in-depth sorting hat,
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
Smarties, blue, red, blue, Ravenclaw, blue.
Folks, you don't even know. Okay, so D&D Magic Set crossover. That's called Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. 3 months ago, the new set was Strixhaven, which is a magical university, better than that other one you just referenced. And there's 5 different schools, and there's like the bringing things back from the dead school and the
Yes.
theatrical school, and
So
like
we've got necromancers and bards thus far.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, so that was Witherbloom and Prismari. There's also Quandrix, which is like math.
Okay.
Boo. I mean,
Do
you-
like a science mancer? That's not even a thing.
Is that did you just make that up?
Yeah, for fuck sure I
An
did.
artificer.
Artificer. That's the word my brain was
Yeah.
trying so hard to find.
Bill Nyman.
There's Lorehold, which was none of the decks in it were good, but that's like history. Yeah.
Nerd.
People got to respect history.
Yeah, you could
you,
try.
though?
It just didn't work. It wasn't.
That's fair.
Yeah. And
mean,
I'm
that's-
forgetting one.
it's
Oh,
good.
Silver Quill. That's like the beat poets.
Oh.
It's writing and
Like-
yeah.
Like super bard. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
we
a
are
super
a bard. I'm really committed.
Emo bard.
Yeah, because I feel like with Harry Potter, only Gryffindor is good. Come at me.
What are you? Caitlin?
Every time I've ever taken any of those tests,
Oh no,
years in the past, it can't decide.
Mm.
Pottermore
it
is like the
is-
official one, though.
I'm
I'm just saying.
It's split 50-50 between Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. It
Hufflepuff?
cannot
That fits, though.
decide,
wow.
for me. and I don't know why.
I think people started accepting like the okay, you're a Hufflegriff or something like that, where they were like, okay, you
What
can
if
be in
you're
a 2-house thing.
double Slytherin?
Ooh.
Well, you're
Sounds
just
like you've got
Wow,
baggage
tell me
and
how you really
need
feel.
therapy.
Then you play Black Blue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Controlling evil people.
Yeah.
I'm
Did
okay
you
with
just
that.
say something about yourself as well?
I did. Maybe I bought a Slytherin hat at Universal one time. Who knows?
Who could
Ne-
say?
next
Who
up,
could say?
next up for sure is a Slytherin robe for me. I'm like, yeah, I already got the
Yeah.
tie.
You got the
So-
tie.
It's true. He did.
I feel like I told you about my LARP on our last episode. Did I? It was
little bit.
Refresh the memory, though.
It was a College of Wizardry themed LARP in a castle in Poland. Yeah.
No, I would remember that.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. It was like the last year, and we got in on it. But
Becca.
it was special.
I feel like we're all gonna have to talk to my friend
'Cause
in
Caitlin
Germany
LARP.
who works with Bergschneider,
Bergschneider.
who
Put the
does authentic, like historically authentic clothing for SEA. They literally do like the Middle Earth LARPs.
Oh, I know about SEA
Yes.
because my buddy Ross Thompson, who works for the Op, that like any branded Monopoly that you own, that's the Op.
Yeah.
He's heavy SEA.
I
boy.
guarantee you they probably know of each other.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because he like runs things for the North American side of Bergschneider. So like he's been like, yeah, if you ever want to come to Germany and do a shoot in a castle, you let me know.
Yeah.
So that's
So
happening.
the answer is yes.
So
Gosh.
year 3, when you
Year
come back
three,
for
we
year
come
3,
back.
we just go to Germany
We'll
instead.
do it in Germany.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Or at a Viking village or somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So he's just got castle access. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I guess if you're in SEA,
Well,
you know the right people.
And they're also like actively trying to preserve things from history of like the way they made clothes, the way they did things.
oh,
like-
love that.
Yeah,
Spin
yeah,
it
yeah.
on a spinning wheel.
So-
yes.
So
Could we do like a film?
Oh, I bet you we could actually. Mini documentary on it would actually be really cool.
More like a story driven.
No, he's a filmmaker.
Oh,
he wants to make
a movie.
I have actors.
I was like, wait, so wait, I
we
have a
could-
castle now
and
The
a
production
location
value?
and a bunch of actors and potentially cost. What
we
are
could
we
just
doing?
do like the one night with Guinevere. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that fateful night. You know what I'm saying?
What happened with Guinevere on the fateful night?
Lancelot.
Lancelot happened.
Lancelot happened.
A lot.
Let's just say a lot.
I'm just saying.
Lance.
Like they
A lot.
all tiptoe around it, but it's like, hey, there's a moment sometimes, she's still gonna be faithful to good old Arthur, but hey, man, she's feeling herself, and
You know, maybe they were just into polyamory in the round table times.
Maybe they were.
Arthur was just chill about it.
maybe they were.
Maybe he had to be like, put your hand on the table. Maybe he had to be like, bad. You can stay.
or maybe he watched and liked.
Oh yeah, he definitely
You
won.
don't know. You don't know.
On the table itself.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See,
Yeah.
right here, it's happening. Anyways,
Oh, did
When we're
I wa-
here, we're family.
was Dominic Toretto in here? Fast and Furious.
I was going more Olive Garden, but do what you want.
Either or. I think that's where he got it. He went to Olive Garden. He was like, "Yeah, that resonates with me."
I feel
All
inspired.
right, get in the cars. Bring extra breadsticks.
Oh no.
Oh my
But yes,
gosh.
so we can do it. We could do it, this
Yeah,
CW
I'll
Knights
hit
of the
him
Round
up.
Table.
Yeah, we'll see if we can put it together. Okay.
But you call it One Night with the K.
Yeah.
Oh,
Greg
no one's ever done
Berlanti, send the check. Send the check.
Wow.
People would watch that.
They would.
And then CW is filled with beautiful people, so I'd cast everyone in the room,
Aww.
and then we make the millions.
The million.
The
The
millions.
million.
I'd take the million.
And
I'll
then,
take them too.
And then we just retire and just have fun and just play games.
And just make stuff.
Completely different from what we do now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a question. If you were like given $1 million, I'm gonna ask the table. If you were given like, okay, so there's no limit. $1 million really isn't a lot of money, especially in LA. But
Sad.
people give you a
Sad.
lot of money. There's no limit to it. It's just so much.
Okay.
Do you stop creating content
No.
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 You go to Mars.
and make content there? No, it's kidding.
I believe in like I don't know if it's still something they talk about a lot, but the old Walt Disney-ism of we make movies so we can make more money. We make more money to make more movies.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, just continually doing that. And I just read the Jackie Chan autobiography, so it's like film was forever. So it's like you can't take that back. And so it's like, yeah, I'll just do that. Like I said, if I'd want to die on a set and be like, okay, this is my last movie. Tell my parents I love. So
I feel like the no that ripped out of my mouth the minute you asked that question was actually my soul screaming.
Wow.
Like, I can't stop. It's so ingrained in
Like creation?
creating things is so much a part of my life that I think if I stopped, I would lose the will to live.
Yeah.
Like it is that
Dang.
strong. I can't stop doing things and making things and learning about things because that's what makes it fun to be alive. And if I stop doing all those things, then I take all the fun out of being alive. So,
That's heavy.
well, life's
Becca.
heavy sometimes. So,
Wow.
gotta make it light somehow. Make it light by making things.
what's Becca?
I feel like if I wanted to just make money, I would have been a lawyer. I mean,
Sure.
like, I got into this because I'm just like making things. I don't even know why I do it anymore. It's just, it can't be stopped. And it's not
Right?
like, there is no goal in mind. But I have been thinking I would like to work. I haven't been on like a narrative set in a long time, and I miss narrative sets.
Oh.
So that's something that I could
If she could go,
No, actually, I was thinking like, I'm the only one that is in charge of my own schedule, and I could make the time to make my own projects, and I should and will do that. So that's kind of where I've been trying to reorient. But I don't know. I get to do so many fun things with games all the time that it's really hard to find the time. And learning to say no is a difficult skill.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I feel like saying yes to everything was what got me the things that I consider successes in my life. So
It gets you to a certain point where you're just like, okay, too much. Too much.
give me my life back.
I think ever since we started Nerd On, I've been able to say no quite a lot.
Yeah.
Just because
That's great.
Because multiple people have been asking me to be on their show. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm sorry. Like I'm already on too many shows.
I can only think about one thing a day.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Well, yeah, and then the film career and all that stuff, and the writing and the directing and the producing and the
Oh.
funding, and so
Oh,
I'm just like,
darn.
well, it's like a lot, and so it's like I need to focus. I need to focus on the one thing and make sure it's great and it's good and it's wonderful and people want to be there and people want to work with it. So you know.
And is it working well? Are you doing the one thing and the focusing?
No.
So what's the secret? How do I sit down and write the script I want to write?
Well, I'll share this with the audience. I shared a little bit of this before. This is behind the scenes stuff. Well, my heart's not too healthy, so maybe there's that. So like I spend a lot of nights. So I get home. I work a 9 to 6. Then I get home. I eat until 7, and then I write until 11 p.m. And then I wake up and do the whole thing all over again. That is causing trauma to my body.
your
And then
body,
I
yeah.
prepare for Nerd On and stuff like that. So it's fun. I love it. But it's like, all right, how do you do this healthy wise? Maybe take some siestas. You know,
wanna know what
maybe go touch nature, touch the grass, go in a
Yes.
cabin,
So
and
you're
that's
saying do mushrooms. We hear loud and clear. Got it.
He actually.
well, I
He
don't.
said touch the grass. Come on.
Yeah, because we were in our in our box, and we weren't going outside because like we didn't know how to do with the mask and the double mask, and there's no. And then it's like maybe just touch some grass a little bit, get a little sweat from the sun, experience that, and not be like, I'm only here so I can be healthy so I can go back to writing. And it's like, that's, where the mind is. But then, it's, I'll say it like this. A lot of people have been wanting to do stuff with me, and I'm just like, I gotta find the money for it.
But you have a point there about the outdoors. I was posted this on my Instagram. I was just like in a bad mood, and I started repotting plants in my little backyard space, and I just instantly feel better. Just dig your fingers into some dirt. It's like that Amelie sticking them in the grains.
Or cracking the creme brulee.
Oh, crack that creme brulee.
So I have a question about that, potting the plants. What
Did you watch this?
Maybe I might have watched the thing. What is the hardest part about repotting a plant if not keeping the pot intact?
Trying to Instagram it and only using one hand.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
I definitely smashed one of the pots. But that's normal. I'm not a careful person. I'm a clumsy, indelicate person,
Watch
and I
the
break
DIY
a lot of things.
Watch your DIY series.
Oh my God, you've seen those? Thank you. You do so much homework.
I like to get to know people before they get here so they're all comfortable. But yeah, of course. I was going to say, also, what's it like to be able to break away from set and then also just hang out with little Oshi?
Oh my God. An hour this morning, I was about to go to this big flea market thing, and just took me so long to get out of the house because I'm just rubbing my dog's belly saying, "Why, you're so cute. Why, you want to give me kisses?" For a long time. So yeah, having an adorable dog is also one of those mind reset things, like digging your fingers in dirt.
Yep.
Scratch that belly.
Yeah, I love gardening. And there's actually like this mental thing where it's like when you're gardening and you're getting dirty, it's like, I don't know, you're just like, it's something that you can control, something physical where you can't always control your schedule, you can't always do these things, but this little thing, this literal patch of dirt, I can control. Kind of. I can do everything that I can to make sure that, hey, you grow. I'll be here, I'll water you. And then I have 3 dogs and 2 cats. It's
you're ready. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it right.
The babies.
They're amazing. They're the babies.
Speaking of fur babies, really quick, I hate to take a little detour, but last time we recorded, this is kind of like a sequel episode. I had not started any of Mr. Jim Butcher, and I have, and I've just finished a full moon, which dealt with a lot of loop gurus.
That was the 3rd one, right?
Second one. I hope it's the second one. Because and I have
judging us.
I have just
totally
downloaded the
him.
3rd one. And I don't know the name of the 3rd one, but yeah.
Look it up. Get it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There are. I think there's 16 now.
Yes, Beck.
Or
Jim Butcher. What is the series?
The
again?
Dresden Files.
It's Grave Peril.
Oh.
Grave Peril.
Grave Peril.
Is it a pun?
I mean, Full Moon wasn't much of a pun already.
Okay, so Grave Peril is number 3, and that's vampires. Yes.
Okay.
So it starts out very genre hoppy.
Okay.
And I heard someone say, I don't know where I learned this, but Jim Butcher was in a writing class, and he was writing all this esoteric, crazy stuff. Like,
Good word.
He has this other series that it's been hard for me to get into that's like the Aeronaut Spyglass, I think is what that series is called. Anyway, and that one's like crazy high magic. He kept getting shit from his professor, and he was like, oh, fine, I'll write the crap that you want me to write. Here you go. And
Don't tell me that's what this is.
it was Dresden Files, and they were like, this, whatever this basic bitch version of you is, this is what people want. This can get published, and that's what happened.
So you're saying James Marsters says it's so crap? It's all crappy, but it's just so warm and nice when he talks about things in sepia tone.
It's so good. Now, James Marsters, who's Spike from Buffy, does the audiobooks.
English, American accent.
No, I know. I'm just like, I can.
There are Venetian blinds on him when he's recording, and there's definitely a cigarette in an ashtray.
Yeah.
It's very like,
because that's the character.
Yeah, it's detective noir, but with supernatural stuff.
A fireplace somewhere.
His computer's name's Bob, who's a skull with glowy eyeballs, who's great.
I love that you called him a computer.
He's a computer.
He is a spirit intellectus that lives inside of a skull.
Yeah. Then he asks him, like, tell me how to make this potion. And then he figures it out. Like,
Yeah,
he looks up stuff.
it's Google. It's
a computer.
Yeah, spiritual
Actually,
Google.
Because he can't use
it's a supernatural
And I
Google.
like the
Thank
magic
you.
system they have involved there. Like,
Yes.
there's like, to me, it feels like it's a middle of the way. It's not hard. It's not too light or soft. Where it's like wizards and electronic technology does not work. But also, like, based on the magic that you have within you, you could expend it. You know, there's certain items that can make it better. So, like the blasting rod, staff. I was like, okay, I like
Is
this.
that his stick with all the carving in it?
Yeah.
The only thing I know about the Dresden Files,
Is Paul Blackthorne?
no,
Oh.
not even that. A friend of mine, Matthew Murback, who I haven't seen in a very long time, did a fan series of the Dresden Files a long time ago.
But they didn't call Becca.
And
Ooh.
I remember seeing the pictures of him in this long trench coat, and he had the staff,
Yes.
and he had like, I forget if there's like a scar or something on the face too.
on the book covers, but not necessarily in the narrative.
Yeah. I haven't read that.
I think he did the book cover version, and they did like a full on like special effects. But this was like long ago. When
How do I
special
watch
effects-
this?
It has to be somewhere on the internet. Like it must be somewhere.
I will find it.
I will find you.
Oh, Matthew. I'm coming
Matthew.
to watch.
Yeah, no, it's somewhere out there. But yeah,
Oh, I will find it.
Find you.
And so I brought it up because I have to ask. Because so I started listening to the audiobook because of you and other friends, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good." What are your thoughts? Because Jim Butcher sometimes, or at least the character of Dresden, Harry
Copperfield,
Blackstone,
Dresden.
named after magicians,
Mhm.
is a little. Oh, the way that her cute cheerleader face. I was like, I get it, man.
Oh.
She's a cutie. Like he gets a little. He's a little
Pervy.
little pervy, and I'm like, I don't know. And so remember knowing that you listen to it, I'm like, what are your thoughts?
I'm so hot for Dresden. I just feel things. I mean, when
He
you
does
get
something for
into Susan,
You know, I mean, I know Susan, and they had that night together, and the curves and
Missing
the
out on
and
so much.
was she tied up at this night?
No.
Okay, well, you just keep listening.
He okay. So that's okay. So I had to look at the cover again. I was expecting like a Fabio with like a woman in a curtain being like carried by this man, and
No, he's like, I haven't been laid in 10 years.
Oh my.
But this woman's
was like-
sensual curves.
it was like
no.
she pushed me down on the bed and then walked to the bathroom and the lights flickered. She came out full breast. I was like, oh. Like I was at work. I was like, I don't. Can people?
In SFW.
Are people allowed to hear this? And so I was like, oh, my. And so I was just like, this feels like a
It's
little.
like watching some animes and you're like,
I was just like, is this how it is to like read an erotic now? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it definitely goes there. And honestly, I really like Brandon Sanderson Mistborn series. But I know he's a very Christian person, which is cool. I just I need people to get laid more in his books. There's just once Vin
lot of
wakes
sexual
up
frustration.
with yes, with what's his
With
name?
the rich dude,
The rich dude, Elliot, but it's not that.
Elland.
Elland. Yeah, Vin and Elland wake up in a tent and his hand brushes her bare back. And that was the most you got in the entire 3-book series. And they are
like
long
those scenes
books.
where you go, kiss him!
Kiss him!
Kiss him!
Yeah.
I just started it, so that was a little bit of a spoiler, but it's fine.
Oh, no.
I just started the first book.
I'm
and
so
I
sorry.
ended it. It's okay. I think it's a great story.
I really should have warned you.
Well, she also haven't given you the context of what's happening.
Well,
at that
Ellen
time.
was like this rich guy, and she was like going in undercover and all that stuff, and it was like, I'm starting to like the posh life, and I was like, don't you? He's a rich guy. This guy.
Don't
But
you-
then he becomes like.
Don't you? No, don't you always
I
say,
don't- I don't care about
I don't care about spoilers. I just care about how it unfolds. So you're
He
still going
only
to see
says
how it
that
unfolds.
when
Wow,
I don't want him to talk about
I
something
mean,
from 30 years ago.
Yeah, that might be way deep in the series.
that's
now
way
that I
deep.
think about it. It's
Well, now we know he survives, so that's okay.
been or not. I don't know.
Maybe
in
it's
my
a ghost.
life,
Maybe it was
do
one
I
of those-
remember?
Find out next time.
It was Sazed. It was Sazed.
Uh huh. Which it was funny
Who's a
because
eunuch?
you were mentioning how the schools and the magic and how they're like, oh, they're the history ones don't care. Sazed's the proof that history matters.
Oh, yeah, because
He
it's
is
been a while. He keeps lore in the metallic wristbands that he wears. Oh,
But that's the
like
whole
bangles have never looked so good as they do on Sazed.
Yeah, but like that's his power. There's different types of magic, and you could like eat metals and all that stuff and expend that.
You
But
could be a goat.
This is hard magic. Yeah.
yeah, it's a rule. It's a hard rule system, and
I
then
like
his magic is like he's different kind of mistborn or misting, where he keeps lore. He understands history, and like that gives him like almost eternal life.
Whoa.
But then
I'm
the way they use like immortal life is like so they spend 7 days old and they be 7 days like 20 years old. So it's really cool.
I think I've decided, like, usually at night I read comic books. I think I'm just going to start these book series.
So
They're excellent. They both are.
Mistborn in Dresden.
So by next year when you come back,
we'll talk about them
read-
again.
Read them all. Just read them all.
Well, listeners, you better do the same.
Oh,
Check back in.
Calling everybody out.
I use my little 1 credit for Audible. Okay, on this next book.
Man, without commuting and driving, my Audible credits have really piled up. It's embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah, I need the car to really have that focused time.
Oh wait, so
Otherwise,
they pile up? Like they legit like stack?
it depends on the type of account you have.
Okay, because I have like the basic bitch one. So I was like, if I don't use it, I'm gonna lose it.
I don't know. Check your user agreement. But
I'm scared.
Mine stack. I think they stack up to a point, and then it's like, okay, if you have more than this many, they're going away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're into the hard magic system?
I mean, you know, those series in Harry Potter are like the ones I'm familiar with, and I do like there being rules to the magic. When you look back at Harry Potter now, it's like, well, this is bullshit. You just get to make shit up forever and like snap your fingers and anything happens out of anywhere with no. Yeah, you didn't expend anything. You didn't tap your mana.
You didn't insulate the magic with the word.
There is no cost to your action.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. So
Well-
that's what makes them kids' books to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, because you get the cool thing about the hard magic system is you get to subvert it. Once you establish the rules, then it's like kind of a mystery of like how did they do it actually? Because then like with Dresden and Full Moon, it's like what kind of werewolf is this? Because it's like, is it one with the belt? Is it the one where they invoke a word? Is it one where they're cursed? And then like in Mistborn, it's like, what kind of metal is this person burning? But it's like, actually, maybe it's not a metal at all.
Ooh,
And
yes.
then, yeah. So
You
I'm
know,
due for a re-listen.
I think I'd be down for the not hard magic, but further explaining why things can come out of thin air.
Yes.
Like if you were to talk about like the creation of words and the time before words existed, and then when words came into being, the power that came with them, the power of a name, the power of naming things, that would be cool and would make sense that you can pull things from nothing because we created words from nothing.
Oh,
So in
you spoke to my soul. And yes.
in Dresden, it doesn't matter what word sometimes. As long
Right.
as you attach a meaning to it, then you can insulate the magic with it.
Intention.
So like he says like fuego, and it's like it does something else, or he says lupus, and it does something else. So like it just depends on what you want. You know, you're manifesting.
Vintas servitas.
Yeah. So,
That makes wind.
but it sounded cool.
Yeah, it
so
did.
cool.
Fosare! Yeah, but Dresden is softer magic because he explains it in a more wishy-washy of like, but I dug deeper into my mental reserves.
Spirit and
yeah,
my soul, and then
exactly.
I pulled out that extra little bit dash of pepper that I didn't know was there.
You got it.
It's tied into like physical exertion, so it can hurt them or get them to the point where like they're they're not conscious anymore. Or I haven't gotten to a part, but maybe it kills them.
My Hero Academia.
And I mean, like to me, the biggest examples have been like if you use like Avatar or use like Lord of the Rings, and it's like what can Gandalf do? I don't know, because he could break a wall, he could break a bridge, but he could also like summon birds. And then like Avatar, it's like I can make flames, but you could see that firebenders have to actually use like a kind of martial arts and then push out the flames.
Yeah.
And then everyone else has to use some kind of martial arts to move that stuff.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
like Katara at first, you can't see how much she can't control it, but she has the ability. But then only certain people could do a certain amount. So
Oh, I've only seen season 1. I gotta
What?
go. I gotta
Of
go.
what?
I started out over COVID. I know. I know.
just regular Avatar.
Regular Avatar. I know. I got work to do.
man.
I got
It's
work
really
to do.
good.
I'm giving you a high five because
I'll go do it.
they were totally like Avatar.
It's so good.
And over COVID, we did an Avatar episode, and I got hooked.
Yeah.
Hooked hard. And then I got to Legend of Korra and hooked hard.
So, I mean, I would say
There's
like
so
good.
much more for me.
because you only watched one season.
Yeah, it coincided with my Animal Crossing time.
Do you know
yeah.
what people in the
that makes
zeitgeist
sense.
say about that first season? It's the worst out of the 3.
Oh my
So you're in for like better episodes, and it's not that it's worse. It's just that they're almost episodic, where they don't need to be matched up. Where like this one, like it's all gas, all plot, and character, and you just saw Azul. Anyways, so
We went from magic and now we're on Avatar.
more magic.
I'm in it.
It's a magic system episode.
Korra, she's the last Bavatar. I just love Korra. She's so badass.
And I think
Avatar. He's adding the word "bay" in for fun.
Just
for
making
flavor.
sure I was right on.
Did I hear that right?
No. You're right.
She's a child. You can't call
No,
her
she's
bae.
not. She's like
no,
18.
she's not.
Oh, she's not?
she's like,
Oh, okay.
She's not baby child.
Oh,
Nope.
thank-
Good.
I was like,
I
I
felt
need
bad.
to exit.
There's like
stage right.
relationship things, and there's a lot.
That's actually
that
one of
goes on.
the reasons why.
Don't spoil.
No. It's okay. So it's like Avatar is a little bit more child friendly, whereas Legend of Korra is. I've talked to Avatar fans, and some of them did not connect so much with Korra because it is more adult.
Mm-hmm.
She is older. There's more.
she is 17 in book 1, 18 in book 2 and 3, and then 21 in book 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So 4 seasons. It's
It's basically like the last of being a teenager and going into adulthood, and it deals with like issues that surround that.
Oh, man.
But, okay, so
Yeah, there's a teenager staying at my house right now, by the way.
Oh,
So
Will.
these are very relevant issues.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
it is my husband's cousin who's 17, and I'm learning how old I am because I'm not enough on TikTok, and I still have Twitter, and I use email, and I text,
You still have Twitter?
You text.
or I ever had Twitter, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, is that out now?
Uh-huh.
I had no
yeah,
idea.
no, young people
Yeah.
think it's only for the
The new wave is TikTok only.
yeah, I was going to say nerds, but like we're all nerds.
and nerds are the most financially powerful IPs right now. Pokemon and Star Wars. And
That's true,
Marvel.
though.
But since you turned me on to Dresden, I have to turn. Since you're going to do Avatar, do the Book of Kyoshi audiobook.
The Book of Kyoshi.
Or it's called The Rise of Kyoshi.
The Rise of Kyoshi.
So
I'll
this-
redeem it right now
this
so
is-
you know.
This is the Avatar. So you know about Aang and you know about Roku before, and this is the one before that who's Kyoshi. She is known as the most brutal of all of the avatars. And she,
Merciless and violent.
Oh, she sounds awesome.
when you find out, it's just like I can't believe. And so like I'm so excited with Avatar Studios being a thing now with Nickelodeon. They are doing a whole thing with them. Like, guys, you have to be able to do Rise of Kyoshi, but it's like people's necks are getting sliced open and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
very violent.
So they should do it.
But like,
Off camera.
how does Nickelodeon do that? So I'm like, do adult animation on Paramount Plus.
Probably.
Just saying.
It could be.
Send the check, Marco Diamarco.
Cut the check.
I'm just saying.
Paper, check deposit, whatever.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Venmo.
So good.
We'll take
PayPal.
Venmo.
I got all the cast right here,
Yeah, it's
y'all. And we could get Jennifer Hale to reprise. We had her on the show.
true. Jennifer Hale's great.
She's a goddess.
She really is, though.
I just started playing KOTOR for the first time, and I'm like, oh, she's this person. They're like, she's so important. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
To me, she's Black Cat from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so wild when you meet people and you're like, oh, you did 10 voices of things I've played.
Yeah.
Wow.
Los Angeles is a strange place.
It really is.
Does it get smaller? I feel like it gets smaller.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
Been here for 6 years. 7 years.
It continues to get smaller.
Yeah.
It gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah. It's
It's big in Asia, though. You know what I'm saying?
I've been here. This year is 12 years.
Wow.
I'm like, wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
So technically, you're not an amateur anymore.
No, I was
told
realizing it.
that 10 years is
You figured
now
it out.
you've been no 10 years is now you've been here long enough to have your footing.
Oh, okay.
Anything beneath 10 years in LA, I was told, is you're still green.
Oh, what's
wow.
your count?
I'm going to be at 6 years in August.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a vet, baby. 10 years.
Ooh,
What?
Nice.
You've graduated.
Yeah, I got 2 feet in that door.
I'm in the door. I am the door.
I am the door.
I mean,
I'm the one who knocks.
That's Walt. I heard
Hodor.
I heard a different one where it was after 4 years, if you haven't left, then you'll stay.
Oh,
But then after that, then it's like
Interesting.
it's all up to
well,
These
that's
can all be
the thing
true.
though is okay. So that's even furthering the ideology that 4 years is if you haven't left within 4 years, you're probably going to stay. But 10 years is you're still green.
Mm, okay.
Son of bitch.
Yes.
But COVID really threw that out the window.
Oh,
because
yes.
so
I think it did.
many people
We-
moved away.
I mean, this is hard for us, but one of our hosts, he was like, I'm out. And went to Seattle, and he was like, I need to get out of
Yeah.
LA.
Hey, guess what? You could pay 1/3 the rent
Yeah.
other places.
You could start family planning.
You could buy a house
Oh.
and several acres.
I didn't.
Do you watch John Oliver?
Yes.
Yes.
He did one about something having to do with home ownership, and he was like, "If you're a millennial, none of this applies to you.
You just don't get it.
Owning a home is like that thing." Yeah.
It was with the solar panels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God.
If I would have known, like, I came to LA, like, as cliche as it is, on a Greyhound bus with a couple $100. And
Whoa.
if I would have known, I probably would have just got right back. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love living in LA because it really does get smaller. You meet people and you're like, oh shit, you know that person? And then you, like, when you start friending people from sessions or something, you're like,
Then you see.
oh, you know
Boing,
all of the
boing,
mutuals, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becca,
I'm plugged in to the
so,
Matrix.
Since you've been here for 10 years, but when you came from another location. So where did you come from?
Where's the motherland?
Should you guess?
I feel
Do
like
I
for
say
sure.
y'all or your instead of your?
Midwest?
I feel like I for sure read it on your bio somewhere.
Okay.
And then this was a year ago. So I don't
Okay.
remember.
It's Midwest.
Illinois?
Ohio.
No. It's one of the ones that starts with M.
Minnesota?
No.
Michigan?
No.
M.
Minneapolis?
That's a city
Not a
Minneapolis?
state.
in Minnesota.
I'm really good with, you know,
Oh, man.
Geography.
No,
That's
but
not
you're
even-
That's not a thing.
Tony Montanza.
Montanza is the closest so far.
Really? I can't think of any M states now.
Missouri.
You got it.
Oh,
I was gonna say, I was just
Out
worried,
of the 4, it was the 4th. Yeah.
Montanza, you got
first try.
Well, Kansas City, Missouri, because it's on the border of Kansas City,
Got it.
Kansas and
Oh,
Missouri.
okay.
So
where's-
Montanza has a syllable of
true.
where I'm from.
So where does that you two? Is that you guys hate each other, love each
I don't
other,
think
fight each
Southern
other?
Indiana did not.
I went to IU for a theater program once.
Okay.
And it was lovely. Is that Southern?
Yeah, that's Bloomington.
Bloomington,
That's
yeah.
south of Indianapolis. That's where I went to college.
Oh, it's great. It was beautiful.
Wait, is St. Louis? St. Louis is in Missouri.
It's 3.5 hours away, and I have family there, yes. It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Kansas City. I went to UMKC. I got my theater degree there. There's a lot of awesome local theater there. When I was coming up, I was like really into music and going to shows, specifically screamo and hardcore.
Oh my God, you were a
Wow.
scene kid too.
I was such a scene kid.
We did
I
a-
had bangs.
We did
to
a
the
punk rock
side.
episode, and we were explaining to Tom, it's not a concert.
I've never been.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a
I've
show.
never
It's a show. I have some tickets for the Juliana Theory that'll hopefully be coming soon.
Oh,
Actually, they're doing like a
so
reunion thing.
emo.
I know. I'm taking him with me because he's never been.
I've never been to a show.
Oh,
So-
that's amazing. Do you remember Saddle Creek Records in Omaha, Nebraska, and like Bright Eyes? Oh
Bride. Do you remember Bride and Groom at all?
no.
That then became the Ready Set.
Oh,
Whoa,
all
I know
that
the race
sounds-
set.
Yeah,
Oh, good for
Wow.
them
Jordan?
for evolving.
I know. Yeah, I was in the scene hard.
Oh yeah, I was a real scene kid. I was a merch girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
same. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Chucks and Dickies.
Chucks and Dickies.
So then you did the scene girl thing. You did the theater,
Thing.
and then
That's
came
like a
out to
yes.
logical
LA.
move.
Yeah, that was a big leap.
Yeah.
Well, I was a teen kid in high school and then in college fully transitioned to full-on theater kid.
Okay.
And Kansas City has a really vibrant local theater scene, and it was so great to be brought up in that and be encouraged by that environment and like do local plays while also doing college plays, which are two totally different things.
Very much so. Yeah.
And then them, helping send me on my way to LA. I did
Aw.
this like one really awesome local show that was a 2-person play. And it was like such an emotional experience, and everybody in town came to see it. And then I moved to LA like the summer after, and it was real special. Yeah. Love
Aw.
Casey.
That's the best way to like have a send off, to like knowingly go to LA coming off of acting in theater, and everyone's like, "You're going to live your dream."
Oh, man.
You're like, "I will."
I know. My buddy Rusty, who ran a theater, he had lived in New York for a while. He knew his shit. And he looked at me and was like, yeah, you're going to make it out there.
Oh,
Rusty, I don't know, Rusty.
You're going to do just fine, kid.
Yeah, he gave me one of those, and it meant so much.
and now you're 10 years deep.
You got it.
Yeah.
Now you
I
got both
mean,
feet in the door.
yeah, not doing theater. Theater in LA.
It's
Ooh.
almost
I
like
was
a
a part of
bad
a-
word here.
Yeah, I was a part of a theater company when I first moved here, and 99-seat theaters get a bad rep here in
Very.
LA.
Would you
People
ever?
are doing it just to get an agent, not like
Yeah.
for the theater,
Yeah.
Yeah, I studied theater in San Diego, and San Diego's a very theater town.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just like you could throw a rock and find some independent
Theaters.
theater, and it's a beautiful town to do theater in. But
But would you ever do theater in LA? What if it was a short commitment? What if it was a 48-hour or 96, right?
I love that
No,
the
48
answer
hours.
that came out of your sigh is no.
Ooh.
That like someone just punched you in the gut. Like, I'm gonna say no.
I'll tell you what I like to do is not that.
That is such a good way.
No, I was gonna say I really miss acting class and just
Yeah.
like putting up a scene, because I don't need it to be a whole play. It's not like I need people to watch me perform. It's for me to get
it's a
that
scene study and
yeah,
analysis. and,
exactly.
like,
I love a scene study. I miss it, and I
Howard
really
Fine, can't recommend enough.
Oh.
I did several years at Howard Fine, and then then
Oh.
I didn't, and then I went to a different. Well, I don't want to say what my teacher says about Howard Fine, and now I
Oh.
can't say.
It's okay.
Okay, so Howard Fine, lovely man.
Yeah.
I learned things, what worked, what didn't, and why.
Mhm.
But the way he makes his stage assistant carry his chair out to the middle of the performance area and like set it down for him each time is the most pretentious thing in the world.
I haven't experienced that because it's been totally digital.
Oh shoot!
I only started with Howard during the pandemic.
Oh wow!
So there was no pomp, no circumstance, no locking the door the minute class starts. There was none of that. So there was a sort of any of those things that were, I do not think are, because that changed the dynamic of we're all in this thing together. And you know what? Some things just doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, Howard said a lot of things that stuck with me. And I was in his class when Trump was elected, and I was a little extra. I like wore black for a week. It was in mourning, and like
Death of America.
Yeah, it was like, someone murdered my dog, and I was walking around like just crying at the drop of a pen. And Howard like sat with me like in the class, but when I was up, and I was just like, he was like, "That was your best scene. What'd you do?" And I was like, "I am so broken inside right now. I can't tell you." And he just really like was like, "Hey, I've been alive and a gay man for a long time, and I've seen a lot of shit, and the pendulum always swings." And it just really was really sweet and really meant a lot. And he does care tremendously.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
I just, when you're at a studio for too long, you got to switch it up. It's
Well,
like,
and you start like when you know how everything works, then what are you learning after a certain point?
yeah.
You're just there out of repetition rather than I'm not broadening my horizon anymore. I've
Yeah.
like capped off of what I can accomplish here. I need to go somewhere else, get different perspective. Maybe I could go back and learn more, but I don't
You can
know.
adopt different masters
That's why-
and mentors and stuff like that. But also at some point, once you learn the way, you make your own way.
That's
Yeah.
why I like college, going to theater for college, because going to college for theater because you had a different teacher and you got to learn different concepts. Like because there aren't, yeah, there are schools that there are concepts in
Gurus.
theater. Yeah, there are gurus, and you get their books and all that kind of stuff, but you can read them and find different stuff. And different, and then you kind of like, what's the right way? You just kind of build your own way.
It's
like, oh, this is a little Stanislavski. Oh, this is a little
something
Adler.
I picked up. There are no such things as rules. There's only tools.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's good.
So, would you say then that the role playing games that you are part of are your circumvention to do scene work?
Absolutely. I mean, that's all it is. Yeah. And doing role playing games with all actors
Oh my
is
gosh.
a different beast than just people casually trying to play a game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Scenery is chewed in a good way.
Yes. Yeah. And not in a, you know, people also have a little bit of an idea of what timing is, so they won't.
I'm sorry,
Over.
Caitlin. I never took an acting class. I'm sorry. I want to present the beautiful acting and
I
performances.
didn't say
Case in point.
anything at all. I was just making comments.
And looking at
Well, awesome.
Yeah. I go to the Berg, Gregory Berger Studios.
Mhm.
What is it called?
Oh.
Berg Studios. It's
Berg
just called Berg
Studios.
Studios. Yeah, but his name is Gregory Berger, and he is like Lupita Nyong'o's on-set
Oh,
coach,
nice.
and Riz Ahmed, and yeah. But I just like went to the one in my neighborhood, and it happened to be the best studio in LA. No big deal.
Oops.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah,
Good
I
to know.
haven't gone back post-COVID because I can't. I need eye contact, and I don't know whether to look at the screen or look at my camera, and it's too weird, and I won't.
Yeah, I understand.
And then sometimes we just look at ourselves in the computer. We're just like, oh, God.
I don't. Yeah, it really has really fucked with all of us to have to stare at our own image while we're talking so much.
I've talked to a few friends over the pandemic, and they're like, "Do you just like accidentally find yourself just looking at yourself?
all
Yes.
the time.
Like you just like, and you don't actually realize that you're doing it, but you're just like, you're not looking at people, you're looking at you in the Hollywood Squares thing.
I've been looking at my reflection behind Caitlin this entire time.
Yeah, I started
Wow.
covering up my image on Zoom with like a
With
a
the
note
cameras,
or whatever.
yeah.
Some other I move the files around so that I purposely cannot look at myself. So I have to engage more and listen better because I'm looking at someone speaking.
I hide
Yeah.
self-view. I'm just like, hide. I don't need, no. Because I'll end up being like, oh.
Well,
Yeah.
we've been at this now for almost a whole hour.
Oh
yes,
my.
Yes.
So
There's just so much to talk about.
well, we're just
It's your show. I'll talk all day.
I
You
didn't
have
know
to-
we
you
had
have
so
to end
much
your
in
show.
common. Like,
Well, I wanna see if you have any more things to plug. I feel like you've done such a good job in mentioning and shouting out all your friends and all the cool things you've been doing. But is there like a red carpet of things?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean D&D Live is the thing I'm most excited about right now. In addition, so that's just some awesome tables with really cool people, and me and B. Dave Walters and Mika Burton get to be the like interstitial glue of that. So we're just hanging out on Twitch, on Peacock, on G4, on all these things. Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
darn.
Say
Yeah.
hi to Austin for me.
Okay, I'll find him and I'll say hello. So we're just doing the segments in between, and I get to do some magic segments and stuff like that. So it's gonna be super chill for me. I'm gonna be watching my favorite people to watch play D&D while I'm like at work and getting a day rate to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna be dope. Just I forgot to plug. I am in a Dungeons and Dragons show every Thursday called the Black Dice Society, and we're on D&D's channel on their Twitch and their YouTube. So if you look up D&D, you can find it. B. Dave Walters is our dungeon master, and it's set in Ravenloft, which is
nice.
like domains of dread. This is like if you're evil, you're whisked off to the domains of dread, and in each domain there's an evil dark lord, and if you go through the mists, you go into a different domain. And so we're just doing horror stuff, and it's like a different brand of horror every time you go through the mist. So
cool.
and this is my longest running D&D campaign because I've really mostly done one shots on the internet. And so we're on episode this week. We're doing 16. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it's been really great to kind of level up in a real way instead of like you're just starting at 20. Go.
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah. We
Just
started
come in overpowered.
Yeah.
we started doing this like as friends, like not content related D&D thing.
Yes.
And Tom, I remember he said this recently where he's like, "You said this was a one shot. We're 6 months in."
And we've had 2 to 2 hour sessions. I've been in another session. It was my first one. It was for your guys' birthday, Corey, and your birthday at the same time.
Oh, thank you.
And then we've been in it since. And I was just like, okay, I'm level 15 now. And I'm like, for someone who's brand new to it, I'm like, when do we stop?
Oh,
You're
Tom.
not brand new anymore.
Well, I'm just like, and I feel bad. I'm like, okay, because then we get some new people in there. I'm like, okay, let them play. And then like Ben, who's our DM, is doing a fantastic job. Corey does a fantastic job.
Ben's so good.
of our one shot. But I'm just like, but when
This
does
is
it
not
end?
a one shot.
And that's what I'm like, but when does it end? I'm like, I thought like I've read a one shot comic book. But I'm like, that's 16 pages sometimes.
I came into a D&D campaign, a show, Ties That Bind, on Lanny Pator's channel, for any of those interested. But I came in at like episode 72.
Oh my God.
And we are on episode 130 or 40 at this point.
Wow.
But that being
Oh,
said,
yeah.
Insane. That's awesome.
that being said, this one shot was supposed to be me, Josh, and Caitlin.
That's going to be you 3 years from now. You're going to be on an episode
and then
140.
Caitlin has not been on it. And I'm just
At
like,
all.
When's Caitlin
And I
coming
have
to play?
the coolest character
You
for
do
this
have a pretty
campaign.
cool
I'm
character.
so excited.
Does
But-
it get to level up when everyone else does, or you just
Oh, my
behind?
character?
Yeah.
Well, my
She hasn't
character...
committed.
Yeah, I haven't committed to it yet. Well, also, they've had like 3 sessions in 6 months, so it's kind of hard.
No.
No, we've had like
I
6.
definitely almost killed an old guy for sure on accident.
Wow.
That is true.
I mean, I didn't.
That's
kill
the fun of D&D, though.
Wait, almost?
Almost.
See, I'm
Well, he
I'm
was in
gonna pull that
disguise. We
trigger.
didn't know that it was him. He was in disguise.
Yeah, I'm a little assassin elvish boy, and I kill people.
yeah, but what's your character?
his name is.
Nice.
He's a podcaster.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm a content creator.
We had a question like that in one of our streams where someone was like, "What if someone was just like role playing you guys, and you guys were just the characters?" I'm like, that sucks. I was like, they chose to just like, oh, we're just gonna sit in a room for a couple hours and do podcasts. I'm like, I would go out and cause mayhem
Yeah, you don't know. That might be special for them.
for them, for that person
Yeah.
who's controlling me, this blue deck person.
Have you
Well,
played
maybe it's
Sims?
someone.
Have you played Sims before?
Yeah.
I'm going to have them read a book, and then they're going to go sit in this chair that I love, and then they'll take a nap.
Wait, bubble bath though? Bubble bath?
Bubble
Maybe
bath?
tomorrow. I don't know. He's
Maybe.
got to get ready for work.
It's kind of crazy right now.
This character's gonna go sit in a recording studio for 4 hours.
I'm just trying to have
Just
a
run
house, have a good job, and marry up somebody. That's all I'm going to try to do.
Okay.
I try to win the game as soon as I can. As soon as I can.
Interesting.
Rosebud.
I also have a top secret D&D pre-recorded campaign that I can't tell you what it is,
But you can tell
But you
us
can
about it
mention
and
it.
perk our ears.
okay, it's all female and it is comedy and it's I believe being released in August. And it's really, really cool. There's some really cool people in it whose names I may have mentioned in reference to other things.
I knew it.
Okay. Don't. Spoilers.
There's no information on the internet that will aid you more than that, but like,
Fine.
yeah,
That's fine.
It's,
My brain can go wherever it wants now.
yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us again. So, so it's July 11th. So July 11th, 2022. Well, it'll be.
We'll have
July
you back.
12th.
Oh yes, thank you. Yeah,
You're-
no,
you're
sorry, I
three.
was.
It's
I was thinking about
2022.
what? Where
lost
have
a
I
whole year.
been?
That's how Nerd On works. You just-
Spiral of time.
Yeah, well, I'll see you in here.
Sounds
Perfect.
good.
I'll just show up right here.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you could just come back sometime and teach us how Commander works.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
You know, our studio is
Right here.
just right here. Come on over,
I
hang
live
out.
close. This is
Oh.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
would
not too
actually
far.
would love to hear a Becca Scott opening a Nerd On episode. That'd be kind of cool.
Hey, welcome to Nerd On, the podcast where we'll tell you how to get a manscaper for.
Oh my God.
because you're really good at opening yourself. Like, that was good. Manscaper 4. That's it.
The lawnmower. Yeah, yes, I
Whatever.
totally.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it. There's an ad break. Whatever. They didn't pay for this. I gotta go.
We'll ADR it. We'll ADR it. We'll cut down.
Well,
Oh my
thank you
God.
so much. Appreciate you as always.
Thank you so much, Josh.
It's great.
Caitlin,
Going on.
Tom, a pleasure.
Thanks, Julie. Heart you.
Here it comes.
Julie, you have my permission to edit in at that point where I was just awkward. I was just staring. It's like it's the weirdest thing to
This is Becca.
to transition from an interview, except for when I go, wasn't that great? Wasn't that
Everyone,
fun?
It's
Everybody.
kind of like when I tried to give Josh a handshake earlier today, and instead of handshaking, he grabbed it and did this instead, and then
He
rubbed
grabbed
my
her hand
arm.
and brought it to his heart and rubbed her wrist.
Anyway, thanks for watching the episode, everyone.
Yeah.
It's been a great time. It was great having Becca on. We're actually using this.
Yeah,
I'm not letting you squeak out of this one, Josh. This was a decision you made.
Yep. Everybody at home, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you all so very much. If you are new, welcome. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Check us out on YouTube, nerdon.tv/YouTube. Check us out on all of the podcast formats, wherever you listen, wherever you get your podcast. We're there.
It's true.
And yeah, we
We'll
are there.
always be there.
We'll
for
always be
you.
there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Google, everywhere. We are there. So stop
true.
by, rate and review us there. It's
Please.
good stuff. Check it out. And also one last call to action. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code NERDON at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code NERDON. Dope, right? Dope stuff. But that has been the episode. We appreciate you all for listening. Just thanks for being dope people. You're awesome.
It's true.
Take care of yourselves. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd on.
Ending broadcast.
Oh, center cam, just so you know, is that one right there. The little baby
It's
one.
a little baby.
that's a wide cam.
Yeah,
If you
and
want to
then-
like, if you're ever doing like a dramatic like talk to the audience, that's your cam.
Right here.
Yeah.
It was subtle. but
Was
it's there.
My dad doesn't use any curse words, so when he gets really frustrated, he says stink or corn angrily.
Whoa.
And it's
Ugh.
really cute.
Ugh, stink.
He goes, oh, stank.
Neptune's
Stank.
beard.
That's good.
Corn.
Wow.
But stink is the main one, and that's my favorite one.
If he attaches that meaning to stink, doesn't it become a bad word?
She's such a stank.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you say? What
I have no doubt that they would give you like a long explanation of why that is not the case, and that's fine if you feel that way, but I prefer not to. So whatever you feel is right for you.
Oh, well, I love that.
I just feel better now.
Yeah.